Hello, Sunday afternoon Facebook Live. Today's topic is relationship addiction, or love addiction as some people would call it. So relationship addiction or relational dependence, it isn't very much different than any other type of addiction. In fact, we sometimes see it accompanying other types of addiction, or perhaps even replacing an addiction. So when somebody successfully beats an addiction, sometimes they replace it with another type of an addiction, and relationship addiction is one of the ones that we do see happening in that situation. So the root causes are multifactorial, which just means that there are a number of different things that that sort of lead to this, or that can be attributed to it. But there are some common elements that we do see again and again, enough for us to sort of make note of them. So one of those is low self-worth, inconsistent nurturing or insecure attachment in childhood, unhealthy relationship role models, misguided beliefs around what relationship should look like, especially influenced by popular media, and growing up in a family that has lived with some kind of an addiction or dependency. So relationship addiction can be defined as a chronic, compulsive, unhealthy pattern of attachment to another person in pursuit of romantic love in order to validate feelings of self-worth and medicate insecurity. It's gender neutral, which simply means that it impacts men and women equally. Interestingly, love addicts are not really seeking love, but rather that feeling of limerence, that is that feeling of intensity and infatuation that we feel at the beginning of a relationship. That feeling relieves them from feelings of unworthiness and feeling unimportant in the world. They use that feeling of limerence, that neurochemical rush, as their primary way to avoid feelings of stress and other forms of emotional discomfort. They use the naturally occurring high of limerence for escape and dissociation. Just as a drug addict or an alcoholic, a compulsive gambler or a sex addict uses an addictive substance for, or behaviour to numb out or not experience the highs and lows, the ups and downs of life. So a love addict will do exactly the same thing, using relationship in order to sort of numb out or to soothe. One of the things that we see is these people don't know how to, can't self-soothe, and that's it's a really important skill to be teaching our children, so that they don't go down this kind of a path. So addictive relationships are based on creating highs. The partners will usually have trouble navigating normal relationship difficulties. So, no relationship is perfect. But what is different in these addictive relationships is they can't navigate the normal day in, day out difficulties that you'd expect to see in a relationship. In a love-addicted relationship, honesty is lacking because the underlying truth regarding the dynamics of the relationship are that it's not safe to talk about these things openly. This relationship lacks true intimacy. In early childhood, love addicts often learnt it was not safe to be authentic and real with another person. Instead, they learnt that it was safer to detach from their feelings. Bringing this coping style into a relationship generally creates a toxic attachment or a toxic relationship. So some of the behaviours that we see in a love addiction or a relationship addiction are seeking out a new relationship while you're still in a relationship, consistently choosing partners who are emotionally unavailable, addicted, abusive, or otherwise toxic, feeling desperate and alone when we're not in a relationship, relying on romantic intensity to escape stress and other types of emotional discomfort, giving up important personal interests to please a romantic partner, constant need to fix your partner, being drawn to people who live in emotional chaos, rapid movement from attraction through to attachment. So these people attach very, very quickly. They also will escalate or want commitment quickly, which I've talked about in other sort of toxic behaviours as well. They're willing to keep the relationship at any cost. So basically, these people often stay in abusive relationships. Preserving the relationship is their primary goal, even at the cost of their own emotional health and well-being. They'll have strong people-pleasing traits in their personality. So they'll be more concerned with pleasing the other person than they are with their own needs being met in that relationship. And that can be sexually as well as just in the day-to-day sort of machinations of the relationship. Okay, so that's about it for today, but I am going to put some additional resources in the comments underneath. So I'm going to put 40 signs of relationship addiction in the comments. I'll also put the love addiction quiz. So if you're thinking, is this me? Am I love addicted? Am I somebody who, has this need to seek out relationships in order to, to soothe me and to make me feel worthy? Complete the love addiction quiz. I think that will help you answer that question. And how to break the pattern of relationship addiction. I'll pop that in the comments below this Facebook Live as well. So that's it for this Sunday afternoon. Please, if you've got any other topics that you'd like to cover, then pop them into the comments below, or feel free to send me a private message. Don't forget, you can watch these videos on YouTube and you can share them with friends and family at any time that you want to from YouTube. The LinkedIn article usually goes up by about Tuesday. And of course, there's Instagram and there's SoundCloud if you would rather listen to it as a podcast. Have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you next Sunday. Bye.